So, hello everyone, and welcome to my stream. And this is the first time I'm streaming on Blend Boy Tutorials. And let's have some fun. Am I live? I think so. Yes. So, what we are going to do is we are going to be making a very basic rendition of a vehicle. So, I'm going into my downloads folder where I've saved it. And I think it's somewhere here. There it is. So what are we going to do? We are in our Blender scene. Obviously, I mean, this is not for complete beginners, but it does give you a decent grasp of what you can expect when you enter Blender and what you can expect to learn from this. Obviously, middle mouse is used to rotate and pan around. Shift while holding shift and then middle mousing, it lets you do a full transitional pan. And just a shift is just like revolving around the center of an object basically. I should have enabled screencast keys. Well, I'll get that next time, I promise. But we're going to be making this vehicle right here. Look at it. Very nice. So what we're going to do is that we're going to be importing, we're going to delete everything except the default cube by doing this box selection and then hitting X to delete. We are going to position our 3D cursor here and we are going to add a reference image. I did that by adding that there. Shift A, reference. There you go. Now going into downloads, there is going to be, I think I named it Aryan's project. Aryan's project.jpg. There it is. Nice. So we have got this car right here and we have to roughly make the shape of that. So yeah, so we're going to start off with a basic cube. You always start with what is the most similar to your desired shape. So here is my car. As you can see, it's actually quite thicker. It's more thick. Actually no, it's a little thin. We need to make it a little thick, like this much. Nice. So we are going to go into right orthographic. We are going to enable wireframe by hitting Shift Z and then tab in edit mode. Do this. Okay, that's kind of embarrassing. I need to close my WhatsApp. Let's extend this. If we select these both and we hit GY, which is for grab, we can move it along the Y axis only. There we go. We made it a certain length. Now we need to add these. We need to add this geometry to make this car what it is. You need to add something which is known as a loop cut. Now what is a loop cut? It's basically a direct slice in the middle of the cube running along its entire width and length and whatever. So we're going to do Control R and we can now click and we can slide around. First of all, you get a line, and if you scroll up you can get multiple lines, but I only need one. So we can click left click, and yeah, we can move it around. Sweet. So I'm gonna move it a little ahead, and then we are going to, we can use we can adjust it later as well. We can press double tap G and that will allow us to edge slide. So you can edge slide it there. Add another loop cut. Yeah, add it roughly there. Actually, let's edge slide it a little bit there. Nice. And now we can select this face. By the way, there are different methods of selection. This is the vertex select mode, this is the edge select mode, and this is the face select mode. You access them by hitting 1, 2 and 3 on your horizontal number layout. So 1 is vertex, 2 is edge, 3 is face. Great. Now we're going to extrude it up, and to extrude it we are going to hit E, and as you can see we can extrude this part up roughly to the height of the top of the Jeep here. And as you can see there's a little bit of a bend, so we're going to go into edge select mode, select this edge, and we're going to hit GY to slide around the Y axis a little bit, just to give it a little bit of a taper. Very nice. Now as you can see that the car has this little bit poking out here. It's some sort of exhaust. I don't know, I'm not really a car fanatic, but it's not that difficult to make. Actually, it's pretty easy. We're going to take this face, we're going to inset it, which is making a face in the face by basically like, it's like extruding on everything but the Z axis. So we're going to hit I for inset, and now we can do this. So it's roughly like looking at the photo, it's about this much, I guess. We can still tweak it, by the way, it's not permanent. So yeah, we can make it a little bit like this, a little bit. Yeah, I think that's I scaled along the x-axis. I think that's pretty fine, that's pretty good. And extrude it up like just ever so slightly, because it's not that big of a bump on the vehicle if you see there. Now as you can see, again, there's a taper right here and there's a hole cut into it. So what we are going to do is we are going to go into edge select mode, select this edge, bevel it, which is select this edge and then control B. If you do your scroll wheel, it increases the number of subdivisions in your bevel, making it extremely high resolution or very low resolution in our case right here. Yeah, unobtainium, don't fake the accent. I am it's helpless, I'm sorry. So yeah, we can do this as well, which is very nice. So bevel it all the way through. There we go. I think this is pretty good. And also another thing you need to toggle on, which is a great feature, is auto merge vertices. Because if you can see, if we bevel it right now like this, we have vertices on top of other vertices, and it's not good. You have the same mesh data in two different positions. You can get rid of that by selecting the entire mesh, going Alt M and merging them by distance. But the program can also do this automatically for us. It's very simple. Just go up here, auto merge vertices. Fantastic. And if we bevel it now and stick it in there, boom. Look at that. If I go and select this vertex, okay. What? That's kind of weird. I'm going to edge select mode, and okay, it was turned off, I guess, due to all the things. There we go. This should work now. Minecraft villager noises. I guess this feature is kind of buggy since I'm going off the 2.82. I don't have the A version. That's good. Try the British one, mate. Alright, mate. So we're just going to go the old-fashioned way, merge by distance. I'm not running the stable build, that's why, maybe. Yeah, that's probably it. So yeah, we have merged the vertices. Now we're going to select this entire part, which we have extruded up, and we are going to click Shift D to duplicate this part, and we can move it around and do whatever we want with it. Now we want to make it a separate object because we are going to do a Boolean action on this. So for separating the object by selection or whatever, hit P, separate by selection, material all loose parts. In this case, we want to do selection. So there we go. It has been selected. Fantastic. Also, one thing you might have been noticing is that it's missing a bottom face. So we're going to select all this and we're going to make it into a full-fledged object. Very nice. Now as you can see in the car, in the photograph right here, it actually has a thickness to it. It's not perfectly like infinitely flat. So to do that, we are going to shrink this object down. Actually, first of all, as you can see, the origin point for this object is right here. So we shrink it. It's going to shrink it according to that position. We don't want that. We're going to hit W, set origin to geometry, and there we go. It's functioning nicely. So you're going to shrink it ever so slightly like that. Pretty good. A little bit on the z-axis. Actually, you know what, we can just use this, we can just GZ it in edit mode. I selected face and yeah, did that. Another thing we can do is to poke this piece out. So it's poking out of this material type thing, out of this exhaust, because we are going to perform a Boolean action. Now to make this extremely easy, go to edit, preferences, add-ons, and select the bool tool add-on. Check this little box right here. Okay, there we go. Select this. You need this add-on. It's gonna make your life so much easier. Select the object that you want to cut the other object into with. Select the knife, and then holding shift, select the other object, then do Control Shift B, Boolean, auto Boolean by difference, and there you go. We have successfully sliced a hole in the middle of this. Now in the photograph, again, if we go to it, as you can see, there is a little rod type thing intersecting in between, dividing this into two regions. So yeah, we're going to do that. it's going to be actually pretty easy. We're going to move our 3D cursor over here. We're going to add a cube, shift A, going into mesh, then cube. It's very easy. We're going to scale along the x-axis and make it like as thin as it was in that reference image, like this much. Great. And we are going to take the vertices, the front vertices. Actually, you know what, we can just scale along the Y, but this is a bit more exact. Yeah, I think this much is good. And we are going to take the back vertices as well and put them like right here, I guess. Yeah. And also, as you can see, it's not touching the ground yet. We can first of all make it a little bit lower in edit mode, I mean out of edit mode, and then go into edit mode, pull the bottom vertices down with GZ. Great. Now select, if I'm going to go into edge select mode and select this teeny beeny edge right there, teeny tiny edge, and we are going to bevel this like so, and we are going to increase the subdivisions of the bevel, which is great. So we're going to control B, bevel that right there, increase the subdivisions to something like, I don't know, like 10. Is it 10? You can see it actually down here. It's on text segments. You can see it down here. It changes. So there we go. There's the bevel. Fantastic. Now, as you can see, we can clearly see the individual faces. And to remove that, it's actually very easy. Again, W, shade smooth. Shading smooth basically averages the reflections of light from all the angles basically. So because this is a very hard face right here, it's making a very weird sort of feathery effect. Get rid of this. To get rid of this, go into object data properties panel, normals, enable auto smooth. So what auto smooth does, it sets an angle between faces and it smooths out the faces which are only on that angle. So in this case it has 30 degrees, so any angle which is below or equal to 30 degrees will get smooth, but this face, as you can see, which is intersecting with this edge right here, it's on a very sharp angle of 90 degrees, so it won't get smooth. So we have made this part right here, very nice. And what else is in the photograph? Let's see. Yeah, it's like little bevels going along and whatnot. There's like little intricacies, so I'll just fix that right now. Take this entire thing, select these two edges, bevel them. Oh no, actually we can't, because it's solidified on the inside. It has thickness to it. I mean, we can, but we can't do it as extremely. So yeah, let's go with that much. Shade smooth. Again, the entire car is gonna get shade smooth, so we're gonna do auto smooth, which is absolutely fantastic. There we go. And by the way, if you're wondering, oh wow, this part is all, it's separate from the different part of the car, so we need to join that. But one thing before joining is that if we were going to apply materials to this in the future, it's going to be extremely different. It's going to be extremely difficult differentiating one piece from the other to assign materials to the single body of the car. So you're going to we're going to go into the shading tab right here, the material properties, sorry. We're going to make a new material and we are going to call it metal. Nice. And now we are going to join this together. Now select this and now shift select the other one and hit Ctrl J, and boom, they are one. Great. Now if I go into the image, let's see what else we can start making. We have made this. Let's make an insetted panel for the windows, and as you can see, the roof has a bevel to it as well, the roof of the car, which is very cool. And it doesn't have a very smooth bevel, it's just straight up geometrical, and these lines right here, it's pretty cool looking. So let's go here, let's inset this face, actually inset 3 of these faces since they're all windows. And I think, yeah, behind there is also a window, but that's a very cool stylized curved window. Now if we inset it, you will see it's all insetting at once, because there is a setting, my friend, which is individual. If you hit I again, it will inset it individually, and if you hit I again, it will inset it together as one face. So we are going to go to about this thickness. Nice. And we are going to go X, delete faces. There we go. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. We can also give some thickness to our car, I guess, but it's not really needed right now since it's like a outside render. So a very easy way of making these rods thick is actually doing something which is used in a solidify modifier. Now in a solidify modifier we can apply thickness to our car. Oh my god, I just made it extremely ridiculous. We can increase the thickness of our car, but as you can see we have already made this thick, so we can't do that anymore. But if you look carefully in the photograph, you will actually see that this piece of the car is vastly different. And another thing is that this insetted face has bevels, so it'll actually be easier for us if we separate the top half of this car and then rejoin it in a future run. So we're just going to go here. I'm going to select this piece of the car and do a separate by selection again. Fantastic. We have broken apart this piece of the car. Apply a modifier, a solidify modifier now to give it thickness, as you can see. Great. About 0.05. Nice. And now it's time, actually, now that I noticed this, I think we actually made it a little too thick. Let's go this way. Yeah, nice. And shrink this down a little bit, I guess. Yeah, no, wait a second, let me shrink it from the bottom so that it's easier for us to do it. So I'm gonna just position my 3D cursor there. I'm gonna go I'm gonna do yeah, set origin, I think it was, yeah, set origin to 3D cursor, and now we can scale everything along the 3D cursor. So we're gonna make this a little bit smaller and we're gonna make this a little bit tinier. Fantastic. Bevel time. We're going to go to all this, all these parts. We're gonna go edge select mode, select this entire thing. We're gonna just select the face. Bevel, but not this high res, just a little bit and not that thick of a bevel. There we go. Fantastic. The roof has been beveled. They need to make a window pane. That's very easy to do, but we'll do it later because materials are going to get involved in that, and we don't want to get involved yet with materials. We are just doing the modeling right now. So there we go. That's done and dusted. And now to the body of the car. As you can see, it has like little bevels and stuff right there, but that can cause shading problems in the future. So what we are going to do is we're going to go here and we are going to take this entire mod thing. I mean, not shading problems, it's just gonna get a little geometrically complex, but so we are going to bevel these things later, and we are going to make this door right here first. So yeah, to make the door, I'm gonna go into edit mode. As you can see, the blueprint has already been drawn. There's a very nice neat cutout right there. We are going to inset that face. Actually no, we're not gonna inset it, we're gonna knife it instead. So to knife, we're going to press K and it gives us the knife tool. Fantastic. Now let's take a hard look at the image and see where the door is beginning. As you can see, there is a window attached to it. The doors, it has a rim as well, and yeah, the door has a very thick rim going across here. It has handles, it has a little key thing, I guess. Yeah, the key, lock pad, not the lock pad, what it's called, the place where you put the key in to unlock your door. It's a lock, yes, the lock of the car. Thank you, brain. So yeah, to make that, it's again, it's not that difficult. It's that we're going to inset the face, okay, and we have inserted it. We're going to scale along the x-axis. Oops, actually, if you inset and right click, it just it undoes the inset. It does not let it stay there. So yeah, we are going to take this, inset it a little bit like so. Great. And as you can see, there's a little thing going around back here, and that is just for making like the wheels of the cars, there's a little division there. In order to give our door that same sort of beveled feeling, we are going to first of all boolean out this hole right here. We're going to carve this out. So yeah, undo your inset, and we are going to be adding a few low poly cylinders in order to do this. So cylinder, we are going to go into the vertices. We're going to really make it an extremely low poly cylinder. Let's take a look at it from the upside. Yeah, eight vertices should be good enough. Rotate it along the y-axis 90 degrees, and here we have it. We are going to go and position it right there. We are going to actually rotate it for 22.5 degrees, as you can see right here, and position it roughly about there. Shrink it down maybe a little bit. Actually, no, don't shrink it down. Scale it along the x-axis and then shrink it down, so that when we do shrink it down, the object faces still like come out of the sides of the truck. So we're going to duplicate it, move it along the y-axis, move it up front. There we go. And then select this object, select that, Control J, join these two together. I accidentally hit them, sorry about that. We're going to select the car, we're going to do Control Shift B, difference. Boom! We have made this piece right here. And as you can see, these little bits are extruding out of the car. That's extremely easy to do as well. Select this edge right here, and we are going to extrude this edge, but extrude it like only on the we need to scale it on the z-axis. No, we're not. We're going to scale it on every axis. Wait a second. Yeah, wait a second. I think we extruded it wrong a little bit. What we are going to do is we are going to select this, extrude, and as you can see, it lets us move the extrusion, so we can move it, we can scale along the everything else, the z-axis, everything but the y-axis, x-axis, and so on and so forth. You gotta bring it a little bit further like this, and we gotta make these two exactly the same extrusion. So what we are going to do is that we are going to select this edge, select that edge. Oh, I'm selecting all the wrong edges. Let's go here, this edge right here, and then come over here, these edges right here. Now hit extrude like so. Great. A little bit in there, not that far away, and just select these faces. Alt select to select all faces, hold Alt and Shift, you will select everything, and then again extrude everything and scale it. Oh, it's scaling it from the center. Yeah, so we need to extrude and scale them separately. Extrude them a little bit up like so, and then scale them along the y-axis. Oh, we gotta scale them along the y-axis a little differently. Orientation local, we can select whatever you want, but this is the thickness that we want from it, and we are going to only select this piece right here, and we're going to scale along the y-axis. Like how much should we scale along the y-axis? You tell me. I feel like making it about 1.05 I think should be good. Scale everything on the x-axis 1.05. I accidentally typed 10. 1.05. There, very nice. And we'll go into here as well. Select this edge, scale, but only on the Y axis 1.05. Fantastic. Also, we can also make this piece different from the car if you want to apply the materials to it later. So going into edit mode like this, X-ray mode, and I'm just going to select all these vertices except these ones, and we are going to actually use C for circle selection tool and select all of these anyways, and hit P, separate by selection. Again, there we go, this piece is different now. You can apply a solidify modifier here as well if you want. Oh my god, the wheels are a bit too thick. This much is fine. Great. So we have made the little grooves from where the tires are going to go, and we're going to model the door now. Fantastic. Take this piece right here, inset it. As you can see, we're getting that little chunk right there of the door, which is supposed to be like kind of beveled, you can say, around the corner. So we're going to make it scaled on the y-axis a little smaller. Actually, we're just going to select yeah, scale it on the y-axis a little bit smaller, or we can just move it on the y-axis a little bit towards here and a little above. Nice. So there's our door, and yeah, we're going to scale it a little bit up so that it fills all the tight gaps, because we are going to have to do something else with these gaps as well, believe it or not. So we're going to take this little edge, we're going to slide it all the way down here till it's like very thin. We're going to take this, you're going to slide all the way back here till it's very thin. We're going to take this as well. We're going to go into face select mode. We're going to select these faces right here. We're going to extrude them in like just the tiniest bit, like so. So it gives our car a little more sense of realism. As you can see around the doors here, there's a very distinct line going there. So that's very nice. And now we can make this piece a little smaller, but only with this edge. Yeah. These edges, select these edges, go on G, Y, move them. Actually, no, after extrusion you don't have to move them. You will actually do it before the extrusion. I'm sorry, I'm messing up quite a bit here. So yeah, it's like this is my first time recording a tutorial. So here goes. We have extruded this out of the wheel, which is good. We're going to add a loop cut just on this little piece. Yeah. There we go. We're going to start back. We're going to inset it just the tiniest bit. I mean, like till it's this much. Great. We're going to align it a little bit up there, actually with the orthographic mode on, so that we don't mess up anything. And we're going to then go a loop cut, do a loop cut around the entirety of this. I'm going to slide it all the way back there, and then we're going to go into face select mode and select all these faces and extrude them in. Great. There's our door complete. We just have to make the handles. The handle is extremely simple as well. It's just a little thingy-majig. We're going to actually pop this piece of the door out as well to make it a little bit more 3D, you know, like this. Actually no, this little fella, like this. Yeah. Take this, you're gonna disable auto smooth. We can just set it to shade flat, because there is nothing more to be smooth. This is already smooth. This doesn't need to be smooth that much. Great. I need to extrude a little bit to get an extra bit of thickness and realism. There we go, there's our door. We're gonna add a handle to it, which is again extremely simple. We're gonna position this, we're gonna put our 3D cursor there on Shift S, by the way, cursor is selected. It is on the vehicle, and we're going to add, because there's a little indentation in the vehicle where you can see where the handle goes, so that you can put your hand into it and actually, you know, pull the handle. As you can see right there, every car has that, a little indentation. So we are going to put a little, we're gonna go to edit mode, we're gonna put a little cube, we're gonna make it a little short, we're gonna make it a little scale along the y-axis, a little thinner. Nice. Take it a bit above right there. Very good. You need to select this, Control Shift B, difference. There we go, we have made a little indentation. Look at that little indentation, boy. And because this has a solidify modifier on, wait a second. Oh, did we apply the mod? No, I did not. It's applied only on this piece. It's not applied in here. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna leave this on, and we're going to. Oh, when you use the bold tool, it automatically applies the modifier. So yeah, we're gonna make it a little bit more thick. We're gonna actually, the exact thickness it was. Just take this face. Yeah, I'm gonna make it like this. Oh my god, that is way too thick for a truck. But as you can see, if we solidify it, bits and pieces of the geometry kind of mess up. We don't want that to happen now, do we? Of course we don't. Are we dumb? Absolutely not. So I'm gonna move this little piece out here. Or we can even do one such thing actually. We can do this. We're going to take this piece, we're gonna do a little bit of that. Just have it a little bit poking out there. We're going to duplicate this, and we're going to join. We're going to join this piece with this. Okay, and then we are going to remove these vertices. There we go. Yeah, just take this face, and we can actually delete the faces straight up. So yeah, it has made a little indentation again. Fantastic. We can select the entire door, but this indentation is fine for now. Great. Because it has been solidified as well. If we go to 0% thickness, as you can see, it's just a bunch of vertices, but we had it on 0.046. Actually, just make it 0.05. Great. So we have this indentation now to put our little lever in there. Again, extremely simple. I'm gonna select this edge right here, gonna bring my cursor to it, exit out of edit mode, add a little plane, scale a little bit down, scale it along the y-axis. Actually, another simpler way of doing this is just take this edge, duplicate it, and then extrude it. Oh my god, the edge is getting solidified, and we don't want that, do we now? So what we're going to do is we are going to take this edge only and only. We are going to duplicate the edge. As you can see, it's solidifying, which we don't want. We're going to separate it by selection. So this item right here, it has the solidify modifier, which we don't want. That's wrong. Select this piece, get rid of the solidify modifier. There we go, we are only left with one edge. Select the edge, extrude, go into Y, like front orthographic. We've extruded this piece right here. You're gonna select this edge, go into front orthographic again. You're gonna extrude this, you're gonna extrude this, you're going to extrude this. There, it's like a handle, just like there. And even another extrude actually, hell. Extrude, boom. there we go. There's our entire door. We can actually, go to proportional editing. I'll just show you how to do that. You click O and it goes to proportional editing, and it moves a bunch of things in its area, in its radius. Basically, it's a radius of effect. So let's just move these vertices a little bit, these edges a little bit on the x-axis to give it a little bit of leverage. Again, shade smooth and auto smooth. Fantastic. We're going to now apply a solidify modifier, and it has made it thicker, but on the wrong face. We're going to select the offset and make it 1 instead of -1, so it's making it thicker on the right place. Very nice. To this little keyhole thing right here, it's very easy because it's just a little nub, and making little nubs is my profession. We're gonna go into right orthographic, add a little bit of a thing right there, add our 3D cursor below there. We're going to go and add a circle, rotate it on the y-axis 90 degrees, scale it down till it's just about like a little keyhole type thing, and we are going to fill it by pressing, actually no, don't fill it, make a face here yet. We are going to first extrude this piece a little bit outward, and then we're going to hit F, and there we go. There's our keyhole. We're going to bevel it just once for some extra detail, and yeah, that's it for today's stream. Thank you guys if you liked watching it, and if you learned something, you can auto smooth that as well. And be sure to save this somewhere, I'll just call it YT_tutorial. So yeah, if you learned something new, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I always read the chat. I saw Unobtainium's comments a long time ago, that's why I kind of switched accents midway. But thank you guys for watching this video, and yeah, I'll see you later.